Okay, what's up, guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. And in today's video, I'll be talking um, more on a strategy I use in trading good. You understand? Like I've gotten a lot of requests on the strategy I use on trading good, so I decided to make a video based on that. You understand? On the strategy that I use in trading good. You understand? So in today's video, um, talking more on the strategy I use in trading good. So I've tried the strategy several times and it's really been working, you understand? So in today's video, you see everything clearly, plainly. It's a little bit simple and easy to understand. So and the daily time frame on gold. So before I even dive into the strategy, I'll try to map out the steps I use in the strategy, like the guidelines on how to use this strategy effectively. So let's dive into the chat. Okay, so at the same time we'll be doing a little bit of back testing. You understand? So we are on the daily time frame. So I'm using this bigger time frame at the same time to be able to go back way back in time, because if I use the 15 minutes, um, we won't be able to go that back in time to do this strategy. You understand? You know, any strategy that works on the 15 minutes works on all time frame, depending on the strategy, but this particular one works on all time frame. And at the end of this video, you can go back and try it on your own charts, try to see if truly it works on all time frame using a demo account before moving to a live account. You understand? Try it firstly on a demo account, try to balance your skill on it before moving to a live account. You understand? So you know, there are different stuffs I use when trading gold. I won't really go in depth to it. Like when trading gold, I use psychological levels. I have a video on psychology level. In case you don't know what psychological levels are on gold, just click on this icon here appearing on top here. It's my video on how to plot psychological levels on gold. And also for those that still don't know how Forex works, or yeah, you already know how Forex works, but you don't know the logic on how to put it in, you understand? So I also have a video on how to calculate pips for the beginners. So from that one, you can move to how to plot psychological levels. It's just like a step-by-step guide on how to like become that strong in the chart based on good, because I treatment only good, you understand? So from that calculation of pips, we move to plotting and psychological levels and how to draw trend lines. So I will make a video based on all this, you understand? But now I want to just show you a strategy I use mainly. This strategy, you can just use it with trend line and it will still work perfectly for you. You can use it adding psychological levels as part of the conferences, making it 3 conferences, trend line, psychological levels, and this particular one I'm about to show you, making it 3 and making it more stronger. So you understand? So let's not talk too much so the video won't be that long. So let's just dive into it. So good focusing in zones, you understand, good respect zones as a whole. So and there's this wave form that good works in, you understand. So I'll draw it first, then explain why it moves in that way. Okay, so in an uptrend we see the market moving in this way, creating higher highs, higher lows, creating higher high and higher lows. This is in an uptrend. You should bring your trend line to, you should bring your trend line and drive from here. You see that the market is moving in an uptrend. So this trend line already tells us the market is moving in an upward manner, you understand? So let's remove this one first. Let's go back. So whenever the market breaks a high, it changes that high now to, like, it creates a low there before moving to um, creating another high, you understand? So this particular zone, I call it F and R, the F and R, I call it the F and R, which means frequency and recency. Okay, so I call it the F and R, the frequency and recency. So like now, here was the previous resistance. Now the market changed that previous resistance to support. So that's how the market moves in wave forms. It always change the resistance to support or the support to resistance, depending on the trend, you understand? So the market once a resistance. When the market broke that, it changed it to a support before moving to the upward side. Break the other high again. That was the new resistance. It changed again to now a support before going up. And that's the same thing that happens in the opposite trend. That's the downtrend. So the market moves in forms like this. Comes down, goes up to tight. This works in gold very well. It's like if you obey this pattern, it works pretty well on gold. So now here was once the support, it changed to resistance. Support now, it breaks the support, change it to resistance, move to the downside. Also do the same thing also here. Support to resistance. So now, sorry. So now there's other pattern to this. It doesn't mean that the market must obey this rule, this set rule every time, you understand? So the market can do its thing. So now there's another pattern the market also moves in. Let me bring it back. Bring it to the middle, to the center. So now let's say, for instance, the market is moving in an uptrend. The market might sometimes do something like this. Something like this, okay, an uptrend, getting higher high and higher lows. So now, the market sometimes might not break this high, you understand? That's when the market wants to change. But let's say apart from that now, let's say the market comes here, refuse to break this high. So you might be wondering what's happening in the market. So far as it doesn't break this low, it's still in an uptrend. You understand? So the market, when the market comes down to test this level again, the second time, this zone here, which we said before, if it breaks this place, here will become, here was the resistance, so you should change it to support before going up. And now the market refused to break this level. So once it comes back to test this point, the second time, it always goes back aggressively. It always goes out aggressively. You understand? So far as it doesn't break this place, then it's still an uptrend. You understand? So this is how the market moves in patterns. And now let me show you another method again. So all this thing, just try to understand this waves. Now let's see something else here. This is what happens also in the market. Comes down, we are still using an uptrend. Now the market has created a new high. Note. So we are expecting this market to come stop here, right? But sometimes the market does not stop here. So what you should know now, this risk management plays a vital role. I also have a video on risk management on gold. So if you don't know how to manage your risk on gold, or you don't know risk management at all, then click on this link here, this video above showing you. Just click on it to watch a video I made on Google Tricks Management. So let's continue. So sometimes the market fails to reverse from here, that is to move up from here. So note that the market is coming where next here. It shouldn't exceed this space. So that's where you see something like this. So now if it happens this way now, your TP should be here. I'll explain everything when we dive into the main chart. So the TP should be here, it shouldn't be above here. So when it comes the second time, touch that level, that is if it's gone the second time, then you know it's going aggressively, it's going to break it aggressively, or understand that the trend wants to change. Then you see something breaking down, coming back to change the space, so resistance before continuing to the downside. So that's just it. That's just it. That's just the pattern the market moves in. So if you could walk your eyes to understanding these patterns, it's not that hard. Higher is creating a higher, sorry, it's changed that resistance to support moving. Then yeah, it was supposed to break this high, it refused to break it. It came back to test that level. Then you know, this level is strong, it's testing it the second time. So far as it doesn't break it. So the first candle that hits here, you wait for the second one to come out. Second one coming out, you hit it way up, it's going to move above this zone, this area here, this resistance is going to break it. So the same thing in the downtrend. This also this stuff to change it in the downtrend. So you see something like a W pattern here. So here, instead of the market turning from here, it came down again to test the previous low. And again, same thing here, since it didn't break this low, then the trend hasn't changed, it's still an uptrend. So they're still looking for buys. We don't trade against the trend, we trade following the trend, you understand? Okay, so now let's try to backtest the strategy together. Let's try to backtest this strategy together and see if it works. Okay, so now let's dive into the chart. So we'll go way back to see. Let me use this chart a little bit. Let's go way back to see the strategy works. Okay, this is 2019. 2019 January. This was November. Okay, let's just start from here. So we can still hit a little bit to go see the patterns from what we show. Okay. So we are doing a little bit of backtest. I don't want this video to be much. So it's already within 15 minutes already, or 40 minutes if I'm not mistaken. So this January, September, November 2010. So this 2019, let's start from 2011. Okay, yeah. December. Now this January. Okay, let's use the replay function. December, 1st of January. Okay, so let's first of all plot the trend line. See, I'm not using trend line basically on the strategy. I just want to use this particular strategy plainly. So let's just plot the trend line and see. On how to plot trend line. So I'm catching for the most touch, first touch, and second touch, the third, fourth. Yeah. So we are expecting a first touch or another touch on the trend line since it's one option. Since it doesn't broken this trend line. So the lowest point the market has gone to is here. And the highest point here, it's here. Okay. So now we are expecting a buy from the strategy, from the pattern I drew for you guys. We are expecting a buy here. Yes, it hits with a trend line there. There's a trend line there. So expecting a buy. Okay. So right from there. Remember from the strategy we said, since the market failed to change this place as like this previous high here, since the market failed to change it to support before going up, started playing, it came back here to test. It didn't enter this box. If you notice, it didn't enter this box, right? So it must come back to at least enter the center of this box to make it valid before going up. So we are waiting for that touch that will like bring it inside this box, this inside this flow, so we could take it up. So this is the play function. Either way, we already know. So either it plays to this place or it just comes straight up. So we could enter this bar. You understand? So let's just see how it plays out. Just playing around. Here it seems like it's coming. Boom. Yes, it's in now. You can see the candle. It's in. So we are inside this trade. Maybe from the second candle that is opening, we are entering this trade straight up. So let's see how it plays out. Boom, we are inside the trade. So I'm just watching. So pay attention to the highs this particular trend will be showing. This particular trade now. Pay attention to the high. Boom. Let's see if you just go to the new high. Watch what's happening now. So the market now respected this high. So our TP should have been here. This is a 1:5.3. So if you are risking 100, you should be making 500 if this market hits your TP. You understand? So this market has respected this high here. Now it's a new high it's creating. So let's adjust this to fit the new high the market is creating. Okay. Let's watch where the market is coming back for. And again, if you look back now, you see the recent high that the market created here. So let's map out that place. The market shouldn't pass this place here. This particular high here. This way the market did some resistance before, some retracement before falling. So it shouldn't pass this level here. Now, if the market another candle should come up bullish here, this way you can enter more position to take it to the upside. It's just like entering new trades, you understand, to take it to the upside. So let's see. You see what I said? That's where you enter new positions to take it to the upside. So now, markets just hit at CP. Okay, boom. So that one, done and dusted. If you added new position here, you're making more than 500. Let's say you reach 100 in this trade. If you add more position here, then you should be making more than 500. So let's move. Let's look for other setup again. Let's look for other setups. The market created a new high here. Let's adjust this trade, this stuff to fit in the new high, the latest high now. This one here. So that's what you just be doing. Just try to move it to the recent high or the recent low the market will be creating. So we are expecting a move now. It's coming back. It has come back now to touch this level. So we should look for a long again since the trend hasn't changed yet. Since the trend hasn't changed yet. Let's keep. Okay. See how it plays out. So you see what is happening. Just pay attention to what is happening. Boom. TP hit. Let's look for another high. It will create. Boom. It has created another high. Yeah. Let's watch out. The next one it should be here. So the recent high. So if this market should come way down to this point, we should long. If not, then we look for a way to make a retracement and adjust our analysis, you understand? So we should be long if this market comes down back here. That's it, a little bit. Stop loss. I won't talk more on risk management. So 1:5. This is 1:4. Yeah, we should be reaching 100 to get 400. Yeah, $100 to get 500 depending on our account size. Okay, like we say 1 to get 5%. So let's see how the market plays out. Boom, we are in at the second candle busters. Let's adjust this one here. This one TP hit. So we are in on the street. Let's see how it plays out. Now, remember what we said. If the market fails to break this level, comes back here to test here, then we know that the second leg that is coming back to test will shoot up aggressively. So let's see how it plays out. It's going. It's going. Let's watch. Let's watch. Let's watch. It's coming back. It's coming back to test that level. It's coming back to test that level now. This one is still running. So if it comes in at least a little bit, it's a spike here, I will enter again, because from the strategy I'm using, if it should come back to test this level the second time, then it's breaking this level way up. It's going way up, way up. Remember the strategy method we use. If the market fails to break the high, comes back to test that the same low again, and still in an uptrend, then no, it's going to break this previous side, like it's going to break its way up. So this market is still reading. This one is, we are still in on this one. We are adding more positions. Yes, we are adding more positions. We adjust this so as to know my stop loss of everything. 1:7. Let's go, let's go, let's go. Boom, we are inside the trade. Let's go. This one is reading, this one is reading. Let's see how it plays out. And I don't want to make this video a little bit long. You see what I said? It's breaking its way up. It's going way up. You see what it happened? What just happened? It just break here and made it boom. TP hits. TP hits. I don't know whether I should cut this video from here or we should just continue. Let's just do one more. Let's do one more. Let's do one more. It's created a new. Right. So here now will be a little bit confusing. Let's see. Where is the recent low here? Okay. Let's see if the market will truly come back to test this level. It didn't test the level. It just created a new low here. So just as the market is playing around, just follow it. It's created a new low. Fine, cool. Leave this one. Let's go to this one. This breaks. Come back now. Now it fails to reverse from here. Notice. Let's say for instance we entered for a buy here with 1%. We still want to get either 4 or 5 or 3, depending on the risk to reward. Now, since let's say we entered here now, we would have had -1. Remember, we had lots of losses, so -1 from all these profits we made is nothing compared to it. You understand? So let's say, remember I said the strategy, once it comes back to test this the low again, since it fails to reverse from here, once it comes back to test this place again, then your TP should be here. Remember, I will still take you back to that place. So maybe you should reverse the video, go screenshot that stuff and keep it somewhere and start watching the video again, so you follow this strategy quite well, or you watch it over and over again to understand how it works, that wave pattern. So we should know our TP shouldn't be beyond here. Yeah. Stop loss. This is 1:2. Let's make it at least 1:4. Yeah, fine. 1:4. So wait for the first candle to enter here first fully, then the second one will go with it straight up. Boom. One candle entered. Let's say we entered at the second one. Fine. Yes, we were waiting. Yeah, just a stop loss. TP. Let's go. Swap. Let's see if I get it. Okay, fine. Spin around. TP hit. So that's it, guys, on this strategy I use on gold, on the F and R strategy I use on gold. Yes, zone strategy. Gold respects zones quite well. So that's the strategy I'm using majorly on gold, but I don't just trade it open it like this, I add other stuff to make my trade more stronger and more effective, like the psychological level, and also um, trend line and other stuff, other minor stuff that just add to make my trade more effective, like the conferences, to add to my conferences before entering a trade. So I'll be making more videos on other strategy and other stuff I use in trading. So just stay tuned. If you are new here, subscribe, turn on the post notification button to get notified whenever I drop more Forex related videos like this. See you then, guys. See you guys on my next video.